All right, happy Thursday. And step aside, Zios. I am back on YouTube. Yeah, I know somewhere right now, Rabbi Shmuley is crying his eyes out. Actually, what he's doing right now is selling butt plugs, literally.
Welcome back to the channel. We're going to jump right in today. Speaking about Candace Owens, who returned back to YouTube from being suspended this past week and some change. So we're going to talk about that today. Now, within the Black community, I have mentioned this before in other videos, Candace Owens is not a popular person within Black America.
I haven't even finished the sentence. How am I making light of anything?
With some bull. Question. When you say make America great again, which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like
So
again?
I actually think that I would totally rock a hat right now that said make Black America great again. Because Black America.
Make America. We're talking about make America. That wasn't the question.
I am answering your question.
Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question.
I'm
ready to answer your question.
Which era was it?
What?
Which era was so great?
A lot of people look to her as being a sellout. Older people will call that Uncle Tom. Someone who actually puts on a different face and do whatever the dominant society wants them to do and how the dominant society wants them to do. This is how they feel about Candace Owens. She got hired on the Daily Wire, which is a far right-wing conservative group, because of her views. They hired her. She was the person who was able to say the things that the background people, the producers, the owners of the show, they could never, ever say these things. So what they did was they hired a very smart, intellectual, black-faced woman to do their bidding. There were times on her show, which was the highest show for Daily Wire. She brought a lot of audience to that particular platform. She was saying the things that they wanted her to say. After working for the Daily Wire for so long, Candace decided that, hey, I've been talking about my people. I've been talking about Black Americans. I've talked about their culture. I've talked about all of the derogatory things that I find within the community. And I have shared these things with you guys. But hey, like, I've been doing that for years now. Now I see a problem with these wars that have occurred. That was a no-no. That almost started everything. Or I should say put the cherry on top. Because we can rewind back, and I did coverage on this video as well, when she did the first interview, or when Kanye got into trouble because of the things that he said about 2 years ago, and he lost everything. And they were really wanting Candace, which is a friend of Kanye, to really condemn him in front of everybody, and she refused to do it. I truly believe that as Candace continues to do her research, because she has grown a lot. She was living in a dream prior to her getting fired earlier this year from the Daily Wire.
All right, so let's do the elephant in the room for just a moment, because I saw you this week on Piers Morgan. He asked you repeatedly about Candace. You repeatedly basically said,
I won't talk about that.
I'll
say that here too.
Yeah, and that's fine. And, you know, it's interesting because we all sort of came up together to different extents, and we've all done a million things together in public events and networks and all those things. It seems to me that at this moment, she's now a free agent. She happened to end up on Locals, which I created, and we're a platform, not a publisher that you guys are. can you at least talk to just sort of where it's at now? She's not with you. She's free.
She's free to do whatever she wants to do.
Her focus now, it appears to be on the people who took her job away. And she's really diving deep, which is why I wanted to do this video, because she is at war with these people.
Here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
YouTube suspended her without pay on September the 9th, and today she went in to detail on what she learned while being suspended, and I hate that this happened to her. Candace does not understand the war that she is fighting against. She believes that she's going to be able just to call certain groups out and it's going to be okay. It goes far deeper than what she thinks. And I know now that she is starting to educate herself more. A few months ago, she had mentioned something along the lines that, you know, everything that you think that you know, everything that you were taught in school, all of that stuff, they're pretty much lies. And she said, I'm having to go back and reteach myself. And she's coming out with a lot of information that I'm glad that she is learning. But at the same time, you have to be careful with bringing this information out at the wrong time. Of course, we are at the age now where technology is at our fingertips, but a lot of people don't know to go look for certain things, or their mind's not even on that type of level that hers is on. And so she's actually starting to dig. She's actually starting to go down this rabbit hole, and it's very, very dark down there. I mean, the more that she investigates and does her research, she's going to find out even more. If she continues, she's a very proud, newly Catholic woman, turned Catholic. Her husband was Catholic, so she got into Catholicism. But if she keeps digging deeper, she might not like what she finds there. So she's going to have to really, really be careful, because she feels as if she's doing her job. She feels as if she's able to have freedom of speech. But sometimes that freedom of speech can cost you your life or the lives of someone you love. So you have to really be careful. She's not really taking into accountability, in my opinion, that what she says and the following and the followers that she has to be very careful in exposing some of these things. If you can remember Tupac, I know everybody remembers Tupac. Well, when Tupac died when the internet was not popping. Everybody didn't have a computer in their house. Matter of fact, people really didn't know too much about the internet when Tupac died. So Tupac, before he died, he was exposing a lot of stuff that average people didn't have access to do what we do today, where we could just go online and at our fingertips we have the ability to find out information. Well, back then when Tupac was living, that information was only given to a certain type of people or a small group of people. It wasn't on a massive level of information. And so when Tupac came and started putting stuff in his songs and giving us messages and stuff, Tupac was not here anymore. And I would hate that to happen to Candace, because I really feel like she's at the point of redemption, but she's going to have to be careful of what she says and how she says it. Maybe that's something she can do, public speaking or something like that, where people have to buy tickets. But you cannot be on these YouTube streets. You can't be on certain platforms talking about groups of people who are in power and position. You have to be very careful. And I hope that by her coming off of this suspension, I hope that she will tone it down. It doesn't look like she's going to do that. As you can see from the video, it doesn't look like she's going to do that, but she's going to have to really be careful moving forward. So, what is your opinion on Candace Owens, especially if you are an FBA black person? Are we willing to give her a second chance? I know I have, because everybody deserves forgiveness. Everybody deserves redemption. Being able to come back from something that you knew you had no business involved in. To try to spread some grace, we give forgiveness to a lot of people who constantly smile in our face. Talk to me, somebody. Smile in our face and do things behind our backs. And that's a lot of our celebrities that tell us to vote this way and vote that way, and we should do this and we should do that, when they don't use any of their resources to come and bless their communities. They're not really allowed to. But they don't try to sneak and go out their way to support the everyday black American. So if we can give them grace for looking out for their bottom line and not looking out for us, if we can forgive all of the many people who have done this act against us, their people, then surely we can forgive Candace Owens and give her a chance to redeem herself. What do you think? What say you, FBA? What say you, ADOS? What say you, Black America? Let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment below, and I will see you in the next video. May God bless.